record to this. Okay. Hey, Alexandra.
Hi.
Hi. Good to see you.
Good. Hi, Anna.
Okay. Does anybody know if more people said they would come tonight?
Laura is coming.
Laura is coming too.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't think you would mind if we just, start
Yes.
trotting along.
Yes, let's start now. It's already 1 minute past 8. Okay, everyone. Welcome to Anvendt's Midway Diploma Evaluation, 19th November 2025. We're here, yes, and to celebrate Anne. And most of you know me, but I'm Skye Jin, and I'm together with Alexandra, co-education coordinators in Permaculture Denmark. And Anne is the first one in our Diploma in Applied Permaculture program in Permaculture Denmark. And we are now developing our education within Permaculture Denmark in our education circle. And with us today, we have our senior tutor and diploma tutor mentor also in Permaculture Denmark, directly from Canada, 11 a.m. Delvin Solkinson. Delvin, can you just say hi real quick?
Hi, I'm so glad to be here.
Yeah, thank you. We are blessed to have you here. You are the only one I know who have 4 diplomas in applied permaculture from all over the world. So you really have this international overview and a very deep, profound intention of building all these bridges in the international permaculture community. So we're really happy about this work you're doing. And you also have numerous teacher trainings and PDCs, and I'm so happy to have you here to support Anna today, and also in one of her designs as an assessment tutor. And you can read more about Delvin at permaculturedesign.earth. And the structure today is that I'm going to give a very short introduction to our diploma. Then Anne is going to present for 15 minutes about her designs and her next steps. Then I'm going to give feedback to the first 5 designs of Anne's work. And Delvin is going to give feedback and top tips for 15 minutes. Then we have a Q&A round for everyone to chip in for 5 minutes. So please, if you have any questions or any just uplifting, affirming thoughts, just write them down so you can share them with Anne in the end of the meeting. And then we have an appreciation round with everyone saying a sentence of what is today, what they take with them and what they want to give Anne of support. Yes, and I'll just quickly in the chat share links for Anne's 10 first designs and her current designs. So a short intro to Permaculture Denmark's diploma. We are collaborating with PAP in the UK, Permaculture Institute in North America, and Pacific Rim College in Canada on curriculum. And we co-founded the Nordic Education Circle with all the Nordic countries and the Baltic countries. So we're really excited about this new step of having our diploma program now. We are working with diversity and how we can apply permaculture to all walks of life, meaning we have larger edges in the world, having doctors and kindergarten teachers and everyone else between working with permaculture in their field with their backgrounds. And we are working with validating past experience, really integrating. Oh, Laura, can you move? Yeah, thank you. Hey, Laura. Really integrating our life and work and past experience in existing training into the diploma, and also many ways of doing a diploma program. Really exploring like how can we move further away from conventional education and move into like a really holistic, grounded, rooted education that focuses on real hard life skills and working in our lives. For having more sustainable lives and making better decisions, integrated and regenerative decisions. And also the diploma is supposed to be achievable steps in that process. So we slowly have the feeling of blooming and not being education that we have to, achieve a golden ticket or something that is straining on us. It should be building us up step by step. So yes, Anne, the floor is yours.
I'm on.
Yes.
Well, så skal jeg dele skærm, eller hvad?
Yeah.
Er den delt nu?
Det er den.
Godt. Thank you very much for arranging all this, and thank you for coming. I have made a little program here, so I'm going to tell you, Skye Jin has already said it, that first I'm going to pay gratitude. Then I'm going to look back on the first 5 designs that Skye Jin has assessed, and then looking forward to the next and coming 5 designs. And then I'm going to look at my future self as a diploma holder. As you can see, I drew a card, which is Challenge and Awaken, because I use these cards from Louis McNamara a lot in my daily designing life. And also I have this sentence, if it ain't fun, it ain't sustainable. But to the gratitude part, I want to say thank you very much to my Diploma Guild, Laura and Dorte. They have been with me all the way from my start in April last year. It seems like a long time ago. And also I have a fellow diploma traveler, Aurelia, and we are working this design together about conscious sexuality. And it's very interesting and inspiring. Then, of course, I want to say thank you to Skye Jin, my primary tutor. I have the picture of Skye Jin as a grown-up who takes my hand and takes me walking in the garden, and then she shows me all and everything that's in the garden. And then she also asks me if maybe I already know some of it. And then she's very støttende, very supportive in all the things that I already know, because I am a very wise little girl and I know many things. So she is, Skye Jin it's like I've won in the lottery. And then I participated in another lottery, and that's Delvin. He is my secondary tutor on the death design. And then I have Helena von Bodmer also as a secondary tutor, and she's very good. And then there are all the other people, Jan in Norway and Louis McNamara, and the whole gang of inspiring and helpful people. So thank you very much for that. Then I had the idea that we should dance, because I think we should always dance. We don't dance enough. So I tried the little, no, you can see this. This is my little Bluetooth thing, but it doesn't work online. So we will just have to say, da-di-da, da-di-da-di-da-di, da-di-da. Da-di-da-di-da-di, do-di-do, do-di-do-di-do-di-do. So that was the dancing part. Now comes the part where I want to look back. I just have to sådan. So Skye Jin has assessed all these 5 diplomas, and number 1 is top tips, and you can see I have arranged it so that you can see which design model, I don't remember the English word, what kind of a design it is, and which principles I have used, and also there's a link to the actual design. And that was the first one. It's small. And then the next one that's small, I really didn't want to make it about my diploma pathway. But I did, and it was actually quite interesting to see that I have ideas about what I want to learn and how I want to learn. And then comes the next three, which are redesigns from my process on Fejø. I was in the diploma process from 2015 to 2017, I think. And actually, I have been even before. I did my PDC in 2009 with Mira and Esben. And I still remember that Mira said that this is about how we can make good lives within the planetary borders. And I think this is extremely essential to permaculture, that we are building good lives. It's not about lack of anything, but we're building good lives within the planetary borders, and it's absolutely possible. And I think that permaculture has a great voice in this thing that's going on globally. So the first one is about my my garden life. I come from like a huge place in Fejø where I lived, and now I have a house here, and I mean I'm lucky that I have a house to live in, and also I'm lucky that I have a garden. But it's a great change to live with a husband, and he died, and then to move away from 8.9 hectares and then to live with 1,000 square meters of garden, and then being alone. I have to do everything myself. I don't have any volunteers. I have me, which is great, but it's very different. So actually, I found out that that there's a lot in this garden, and I planned in Langsom Lørdag, a slow Saturday every month, and yeah, I think it's going to be beneficial to some people. Hopefully, we'll see. And then I have the land-based design. I'm not a land-based person. I'm a social person, but you have to do 2 land-based designs. So it was also very good to kind of to get myself through it, that now here is the first actually land-based design. And I made all the lines and I made all the measurements and and it seems to be working okay. And then I have this about my gift to the world, because it was about all the things that we offered in the healing garden. So now it's okay, but what do I offer? I actually have a lot to offer. I wasn't aware of that, so I can recommend the designing. Yeah, so that was looking back. Now comes looking forward. I say that my challenge is my primary challenge. I talked to Delvin about it, is how to reflect. But hopefully I will become aware of what reflection actually is while I finish the first 3 of the last 5, and then go through the 2 ones where I'm kind of in the start. But the one that I've almost finished is hold dog kæft. The one that I've almost finished is this Circles of Life for Permaculture Denmark, with Helene von Bodmer as my tutor, supervisor. And it's an absolutely huge design, but I've managed to, I think it's only like 17 pages. And then the presentation format is a 10-minute video that's going to be shot on Sunday. So it's very close to send off for assessment. And then this about death, which has a spiritual dimension, I suppose you could call it. And Delvin is very supportive about taking subjects like this into the permaculture world. And I did a death cafe at the local library, and it went very well. So this will also be sent off for assessment before, I think, the mid of December. And then I have this one, Conscious Sexuality, which I'm co-creating with Ololia Marti. And we have had a very successful introduction evening meeting about this, and it seems to be something where people say, this is so important. why haven't anybody been talking about this before? And I think also in the permaculture world that it's very important that, I mean, if there's no sex, there's no life really. So the sexual force is so important for the whole flow of life. And yeah, I think it's going to be, hopefully, we will be met well. And Skye Jin is my, supervisor, tutor. Then I'm working on co-creating with Jonathan, who is working at Lygum Kloster Højskole. And we've just started to co-create the PDC for Lygum Kloster, which then will be launched either in the autumn of 2026 or in the spring of 2027. And the headmaster is absolutely on, everybody's on. So I would be surprised if it kind of didn't work out. And I have been working on this design, Ældre, about who am I as an elder. And it goes out, but it has already been very beneficial, the work I've done on it. And then I have my second land-based design, which is a long story how to get to that. First, I was working with the pond right across my house, but for various reasons, it didn't work. So now I'm doing 1 year with flax, because as you might have heard, I am an absolute flax person. So breathing comes the last part, my future self as a diploma holder. So there's my future is in my personal life, in Permaculture Denmark, in Europe, and in the world. And then there is my obstacle. So in my personal life, I have my permaculture garden, and I have my house, and the village here has become grønt nabofællesskab, and it's really growing, and we're working together. And then all the stuff that I'm doing with flax, and actually also with senior dance. And with flax, I'm working together with a French woman, young woman, Victoria Mouton, who lives in Svendborg. And so we have things you can see, Åben Havedag, flax days at the library, blah, blah, blah. And hopefully in this verdensmålsuge, the week of the world, I don't know what that's called, the FN goals, hopefully I can make a lecture about permaculture ethics and aesthetics, and then talk about gardens and make people from the local repair cafes and the local grønne nabofællesskaber and blah, blah, blah to come. But I haven't talked to the library about it yet. So I decided I will decide after this presentation whether I'm going to do that or not. But I think it would be a really good idea to do it actually and show my face in the public arena. So then we have Permaculture Denmark, where hopefully I will be working with permaculture education in our højskoler. It's not high school, but it's a Danish thing called højskoler. And I would really like to start a flax group, either in the garden department of Permaculture Denmark or the agricultural part of Permaculture Denmark. And I think permaculture is for everybody. Permaculture is what we want in everyday life, and permaculture embracing all aspects of life. So there's so much to work with, and there's so much room for everybody to participate and to give and to learn. Because I mean, teaching is learning. It's the same thing, really. That's what Skye Jin always says. She's wise. And on the 11th of March, Olalia and I have a webinar, great experiment, about holistic permaculture. And also I'm writing a book in English on death, and hopefully a book in English on conscious sexuality. And that's for the English market. The Danish market is so small to get these spiritual, personal development, existential questions into the permaculture arena. Then I would like to go to Italy. I am completely crazy about Italy, and I'm learning Italian. And so hopefully I can find some permaculture playmates in Permaculture Italy. I will be looking for that. And then I also have a global thing because I have a thing with Japan. And I'm reading a book about aesthetics and this, the global framework that we have to kind of be within. We can't just, then every living species will not be able to breathe. So I think that's very interesting, and I would just love to go back to Japan if it's possible. I was there in 2018 with my husband, visiting transition towns and permaculture initiatives, and I would just, so every time I meet these Japanese students or wherever I meet them, it's just, oh, are you from Japan? I love Japan. They think I'm crazy. But anyway, hopefully that's one of the things that might happen. And then also I might learn to cope with sociocracy, which I absolutely cannot at the moment. But as you can see, things can change. People can wake up, even me. I can believe that change is possible. I can loosen up the status quo and I can explore new possibilities. I can experiment with disrupting patterns. Do I like that? No, but I can do it. And I can gently challenge and awaken others, hopefully. So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for this.
Thank you, Anne. Let's just unmute for a second and clap. Whee!
Yay, great work.
Yay!
Yay.
Woo!
Amazing, amazing.
Amazing, Anne. Okay, then you can mute again. So, Anne, I just forgot to present you, just introduce you, but you did it so nicely yourself. But I'll just say that since 2007, you helped co-found the Permaculture and Transition Initiative at Fejø, and really has been like a primary force in Fejø and permaculture. You had the Land Center since 2014, Fejø Retreat Healing Garden, your old place. And you're an educated teacher, a great facilitator, keeping the time like perfect. So an organic farmer, community builder, and collaborator. Just putting all these nice words out there. Is it not true?
Two things to my CV, because I'm also a trained psychotherapist and I'm also a mindfulness teacher.
Yes, and I will come to that too.
Sorry.
Okay, I'll just share something nice, which is Anne's face on her diploma page, which you got the image for. I also want to share just quickly the page. They were both in the chat, and I'll also put it under this video when the recording is out, just to appreciate for a moment Anne's previous work of 10 unassessed designs here on this page. And many of those you have redesigned, a huge task, and a great proof that designs are living and we can keep on tweaking them and returning to them and harvest from many designs we've made in our lives, but also an appreciation of that. And there you can see some important people also in the picture of your previous journey that I think we should appreciate as well. Okay, so I'll just move quickly to how our journey started, Anne, with making connection first, which is a very great principle coming also from cultural emergence, the equivalent of observe and interact, I would say. And we have surely made a connection, the two of us, Anne. We cried and laughed together and know a lot of intimate details about each other's lives by now. And I see this as a two-way learning journey together with you. I see you as an elder and a pioneer, and that we are participating in this relationship together as equal human beings. And it's an honor for me to do this diploma journey with you. Yes, and this first design, I will talk about the outcomes of your 5 designs in a quick format. So this was called Anne's Top Tips to Havevandring. And as you see here, Annie in the center with the Fejø healing garden apron on you, and you really reconnected with your previous life at Fejø and went through all these pictures to try to find some anchor points for this design, a huge redesign. And through this, you got a lot of reflections, and you got updated on current criteria for diploma designs. And you got to share full life of experience to the Open Garden Day, which is facilitated by Alexandra and Mette Madvig, when we had the Open Garden Day in Permacultur Denmark. You really paid attention to write in an inclusive and accessible language and translating English terms to Danish, which I think is very important groundwork to do. And you used images as focal points and really got into how the images can work in the design, make them lively and make them accessible and relevant, which is like almost like 50% of the communication of a design, I would say. So all these outcomes really came from this design. And I think the biggest thing is that you felt skilled again as a designer. You said, I'm freaking great at designing, actually. You got this feeling, this like, yes, like a roaring lion or something. So the fire really started there, I felt. Then for the second design that you were not too happy about in the beginning, we talked about having this picture of you visualizing you completing your diploma. And I saw this image on your social media, and it's such a beautiful image of you smiling there, a little cheekish with the flower krans. And we talked about you really visualizing this as a momentum journey. You're going to complete this. You've already worked 2 years, so you're going to complete this in 1 year. We have this intention, the two of us. And you got your Grundcertificate. You got your foundation certificate now with 2 designs. So that was also a milestone. Now you could teach or certified intro courses. You also overcame this internal resistance of writing up the designs and making this design, and discovered how the process can be smooth and positive in your own words, which is a great experience to have when you begin to find out how am I as a designer, how is the process positive for me, and you became more aware of using tools and frameworks and ethics as active decision-making helpers, and not as something you just have to cross off. You became conscious about how you want to be clear and consistent in a simple write-up style that is very accessible to anyone, and that you want to expand permaculture as a living movement, referring to other people and create synergies with other people's work. And yeah, you see my card here, you had the Luby's card, and you're also referring to Mia and Espen and all these other sources you have actively, which is beautiful, I think. For the third design, the meditative garden life, caring and sharing, this was a redesign of your mindfulness and permaculture design, and a powerful reflection process in itself. Outcomes is also that you integrated your mindfulness certification, there it came, and your experience from previous hosting mindfulness courses at Fejø, and really got that into your current life, because you organized mindfulness. Was it Saturday and Sunday? Saturday?
Yeah. Slow Saturday.
Slow Saturday, which is also a great outcome, I think, because from the get-go, you always put your designs to work in the real world. You really implemented your designs right away, which I think have really shown in your work how your momentum, you got all these, you harvested all these feedbacks instantly from your designs, not theoretical designs, but designs where you use them for doing something. And you got more skilled in using tools like zoning for social designing and principles. And in your own words, you wrote, "This redesign has been a great help for me to realize that many of the elements which I loved in my old life can actually be found here in my new life. This is dear to me and raises my quality of life, which is so beautiful. To still be able to do things I love, only in a smaller scale. It's touching, I think. And then you have another note. Today, on the 13th of April, 2025, I think you wrote 26, but I think it's not from the future. Maybe it is from the future.
No,
I
it's
can
not.
look back on a successful first Silent Saturday. I made a posting on Facebook, Zone 5, about it, and there was a positive response from my network, both likes and comments. So this is also showing that you really understand now what living design is. Coming back to your designs, keeping them open-ended, keep using them in your life actively. Then the Merry Garden. This is also a redesign of a previous garden design from Fejø, the seaweed potato bed, and lots of reflections also there. And you overcame some self-limiting beliefs about the land-based design and making base maps. You're not alone with that. I share that too. The fear of the base map. I think that's a real thing. And you did it, and you had this like really, you always have this surprising, when you skill up with something, you have so many self-limiting thoughts about that you get this, yes, I can do it. And also you can do it in your own way. The motivation and positivity about doing small-scale designs in your garden came up in this design, and you realized that you had goals. You were so sure you didn't have goals when you moved there, but now when you begin to have goals, it is proving that your life is opening up, ideas are flowing, there's something going on. And I think you beautifully used Zone 00 based on your own needs as part of the observation. So the people care and the people-based needs were as much as the land-based needs in this design, and really makes it holistic, I think. And the garden is an extension of personal care and the person caring for it. So even the passing of your ex-husband and your strokes were written in as timelines. And I think that is really making the design where you are touched and you're getting to know the person, even if you're reading it from perspective of somebody who doesn't know you. It makes it personal. Yes. And then design 5, Anne's gifts to the world. Anne, I feel you're blooming now. I almost feel this is a speech for somebody's, I don't know. But you are really blooming now. You're stretching out into the world. It's obvious for everyone who are just near you or just see your posts or your work. You are stretching out with collaborations, many collaborations, multiple service to communities, close and international and national. Your self-confidence is obvious. Your growth is obvious. Your design style is playful. It is truly joyful, and it's written in an accessible and personal tone. I remember something with the weather you said in the first design. And there's so much like personality in the way you write that it's precious. And you have a clear and only relevant kind of writing up style, which is great. And images and documentation in a great balance now. And you feel confident with that style. And you're becoming increasingly confident in using tools in a useful way, especially your zoning and sectors for social designing is outstanding. And now I'll just finish in your own words. This is something you wrote in this design. If working actively with permaculture can be a positive impact on the lives of future generations, as well as all living species on the planet, well, then it is really worthwhile doing, isn't it? For my own personal part, it makes a lot of sense to work with these designs and redesign processes, a nourishing way for me to spend my time. I must admit, I'm rather surprised that the redesigning process is working so well in my new life. And then last words from me here, working with a guild of other designers, having designs assessed by Delvin Solkinson and Helena von Bodmer as well, doing service in Permacultur Denmark, mapping flow and circles in your design 6. You have clear timeline and motivation for reaching completion this summer. 2026. Let's say well done, and in Korean, 잘랐어. Yes. So let's just stretch once. And then Delvin, you can get ready. Now it's Canada.
There we go. I put a little art in just for vocal interest there, visual interest. Can you see that art there?
Mm.
Well, I'm truly grateful to all of you for being here today, and a special thanks to Skye Jin and Alexandra and Anna for welcoming me into this process. What a joy to be part of this emerging edge of permaculture education. It's super exciting and it gives me a lot of hope. And so I'm really humbled to be invited and to have this meeting in English to include me. Thank you so much. Mary Oliver asks, tell me, what is it you plan to do with your one precious life? And Anna, you've done and are doing truly extraordinary things. Even as an advanced teacher and guide and facilitator and writer and creator, you're still making time to do this diploma, which is the mark of a truly extraordinary person. You're an example of some of the best qualities of lifelong learning and dedication, creativity, adaptability, and humility in learning from some of us that are so much less experienced in life than you are. So I salute you for modeling permaculture by living such an exemplary life. You are truly an inspiration. And I wanted to share a few insights and celebrations of your designs 3 to 5, and then some top tips that maybe are in general top tips for doing diplomas. This painting is from down the road from where I live. It's from Autumn Sky. It's called Heartwood. Back to the meditative garden life, caring and sharing, design 3. Wow, you have such a long history of permaculture and running land centers and practicing and teaching mindfulness. What a really unique contribution to the diploma. And this is what you've been doing again and again in your designs of exploring new territory and creating unique and novel synergies of different fields. So this is a great contribution and really expanding people's understanding, and certainly mine, of what's possible with permaculture. And yeah, what a joy to discover your storytelling style. It's so inspiring and approachable to read through the designs, the beautiful stories with words and also with pictures. So much wisdom and insight. I really love your focus on identifying needs and the resources to meet those needs. Like, well done, just right on point. And I have to say, as Skye Jin noted earlier, that redesigning is such a key skill, which I think isn't valued enough in permaculture. And this idea of keeping designs alive and relevant, and that designing, once they're assessed, aren't intended to be complete, but in many ways to be living and changing and growing with us and reflecting the evolving landscape of our lives. So this is a really great practice, and I encourage myself and anyone else here today or watching this recording after to think about designs that maybe they thought were complete, and maybe pulling those out and taking to the next level and bringing another upgrade, another opportunity to take a project or a garden or anything to another level. And this painting is from Varda Ma, called Rhythms of the Universe. Designed for the Mary Garden, which was such a delight with more really compelling storytelling and wonderful photos. One of the principles that I've been coached on is sharing the story inspiringly, and how that's a powerful way to uplift others. So thank you for sharing the journey inspiringly, Anna. Amazing that you're able to model kind of the ultimate permaculture process of spending a whole year observing, including deeper history of the place. So you really exemplified that process, which is takes a lot of dedication and patience, and not everyone is able to do. So amazing you were able to pull that off. Um, love and peace as core values. I have to resonate with you. They're not for hippies anymore. This is what we're here to do, is bring these in the world, and you're doing that in a beautiful way. So, this vision of picking flowers all year round, and the motivation to bring beauty into the world, and that to me exemplifies this love and peace, this work that we're all here to do. Um, I love your reframes. There's some beautiful reframes in the designs. One of them in this design is working in gardens, sort of reframing working in gardens to take care of the gardens, and seeing that everything you're doing out of love, it's like the gardens are caring for you, and it's not really work, it's actually a caring service. So I really loved that. Doing things out of love instead of duty. That's totally gorgeous. Guiding principle for life. Um, Great job sharing your decisions and the reasoning behind them. This is really a touchstone for design write-ups. That's really what we're sharing, what we're doing and why. That's the core transmission. And by expressing that, we're putting more intention into it myself and ourselves, and going deeper into why we're making decisions and evolving those decisions and making them more conscious. Um, Wonderful work in all the designs, bringing in principles and how to practice with them, how to apply them. Um, Beautiful job of sharing how the principles were used in the designs and how they influenced or led to decisions, which is also a touchstone for permaculture. Principles being these secrets of nature's success and people's success, and how we can use those specifically to influence or inform or lead to decisions. That's like, you got the core message. That's really what this is about. Nature is our teacher and our guide, and providing us with these tools to become more effective, ethical, and conscious decision makers. And I love that you have identified some core limits and needs in this new phase of life. I mean, this process has really opened things up and had all these realizations about this chapter and the next chapter for you, which is astonishing. Um, Humble and honest of you to note that the garden needs more systematic design. You're looking forward, and with strength and being empowered, but also with humility and knowing that there's always more to do, which I really appreciate that attitude. And this, you have all these attitudinal reframes that are great. This idea of doing things because you want to do them and not because you must, and creating that framing of living the life that you want and not creating tasks or chores for yourself, but bringing joy into the process. And that to me is just totally beautiful. That's the right way to do things, and will result in joy and happiness in the journey. I love this golden key moment that you integrated the 7 principles that make gardens permaculture without even knowing that they were there. That's like this reflection of success that you're already practicing, which is one of the highest forms of permaculture, is realizing we're already doing all this stuff. So I love that. And great, you've been willing to go out of your comfort level in just the right way, and keep stretching and learning new things. And I think that's been really rewarding. You have this statement in the design: transform the garden into a garden of caring and love for people, nature, and the future. So another beautiful embodied statement about the permaculture ethics. And this art piece from Peru from Gina Sargenti Flores is called The Garden of Love. Design 5, your gifts to the world. There's so many. Once again, embodying the ethics of gratitude, compassion, and connectedness. Definitely expressions of the ethics in action. And great that you brought those to different places in the design. Lots of wisdom and insight, again, in your use of the principles. Start where you are, use what you have. And it's just been so amazing to see the positive impact of permaculture and its value. You've really got the message and you're living it really beautifully. So I'm really glad that you said it's a nourishing way to spend your time designing. And that's like, kudos to Skye Jin and to you for that, because that is the goal, is to design, and that it is to nourish life and help take things to the best next level. So that's a great affirmation. And I love that you're having fun with the redesign process and applying old designs to what's going on at the moment. Um, Recycling, upcycling the past into the future. So yeah, your vibrant excitement, you described it as, I think that's the best yield and indicator for success in the process. And this art's by Viandara Alferi, and it's called Faith. And some top tips for future designs. Um, and this is for me as well. I think, one ways I use the design framework often to create a structure. This is moving from patterns to details, is by just writing the title of each phase on a blank page, and then maybe noting some places that you might include ethics, principles, and tools, and then filling in the design as you go. And you can make it into a more nonlinear process that way, but having a place to write observations and analysis and implementation. I mean, and when I say frameworks, the core pattern of every framework is essentially observe without judgment, analyze those observations and come up with ideas, identify needs and think of ways to meet those needs, and then ultimately make decisions and identify actions to reach your vision and your goals and meet the limits and the needs that you've identified, and then implement the design by doing the actions and then evaluating what went well in the design, what could go better if doing it again, and then finally reflecting on what you learned about permaculture and what you learned about being a designer through the process. And that's the piece where it all comes together that you carry on to the future designs. So another great best practice, I think, is identifying the vision really clearly with specific aims and goals at the beginning, which you've done and continue to do. This is really the thread that weaves the design together. And then the ideas and observations and analysis that you share in the design can all relate specifically back to the vision, aims, and goals. So you're identifying opportunities and resources and limits, seeing how these represent core needs to realize your vision, and then coming up with design ideas on ways to meet those needs. And then you're in this amazing conscious, intentional position to make decisions about the most appropriate way to meet your needs and address your challenges. And that is translated into clear, achievable actions. And then after you take action and implement your decisions, you can evaluate the ways you met the vision, the ways that you still maybe could meet the vision even more, and the next steps for continuing the journey. And then reflect and evaluate. What did I learn as a designer? How would I do this differently next time? So continuing, I think, the pattern of bringing the ethics and principles into different places in the design. Like you might have ethics at the beginning. I want to care for the earth more in this design. And then in the middle, it might be like, how am I caring for the earth more in this design? And then in the evaluation, it might, in what ways was I able to fulfill my vision of caring for the earth more in this design? In what ways might I still have improvement? So breaking down the linearity a little bit, and as you go into these advanced designs and allowing some of these things to be threads that weave through the whole design, the ethics weave through the design, the principles weave through the design. Keep up the awesome work. I think you have so many good ideas. Some of those ideas may not relate specifically to the vision of that design, but save those ideas because they're perfect for next steps and for other designs. Like it's all gold and it's all worthy of integrating into the larger diploma, which is a design of designs essentially. So you've done extraordinary work. I love your designs. I feel really blessed to be able to benefit from your wisdom and learn from your journey. You are such a wonderfully diverse and multi-dimensional being. So learning from you is a really great affirmation on my path. And I think momentum is magic. That's part of the magic of permaculture. And this process has certainly inspired momentum in your life. And I'm grateful to have some momentum in my life due to that as well. So I'm really excited to see what's ahead on this path for you and following your inspiring design adventures ahead. And this art is Quantum Yin by Amanda Sage. Thanks for the opportunity to learn with you, Anne, and thanks to Skye Jin and Alexandra for including me.
Wow. Thank you, Delvin. Wow. If I could give a prize to humble skillfulness and a caring teacher, it would be you, for sure. Thank you for all this uplift for Anne. And you're continuing on Anne's journey, as you said, on the Death Cafe design, which is wonderful, wonderful. So now, everyone, let's take a round of questions. If you have questions, you can put up your physical hand. Questions for Anne and everything you've seen here. Or you can also put up this like this hand.
It's a bit hard to come with the questions when we are full of reactions, Skye Jin, and want to, woo, so great, so amazing. But I have a question.
Yes, yes.
And I have written it down. And I would like, amazing presentation, amazing journey, and I hope I can tell this later in the next round. But I would like to hear, where do you feel you've grown most in this journey of these 5 designs so far? What was the most kind of developing area for you?
Well, it is, it is like together with my life, this huge salto mortale I have made with starting to live on my own and yeah, not in the community, and so it is landing. And Skye Jin said it in the beginning that what a diploma process can do, if I understood it right, is that it can really integrate all the different parts in one's life, so that one knows more who one thinks one is. And it has worked like that. So from being completely shattered, like there was a bomb, excuse me, where am I? Then I am here. I am. That's what is really fundamental. And
Amazing.
I want to contribute, and I can see that I can contribute. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you
Wow.
for asking.
Thank you so much. Yeah. I also can do this. I know how. Yeah.
Thank you for that question, Alexandra. Anyone from the guild? Laura, daughter? You already know Anne so well. Have you already asked her?
Yeah, that's the problem with the question part, because I ask a question, I only have questions that I already know the answer to. Yeah, but I do have a comment, if I may.
Yeah, you just sneak it in.
Sneak it in. So I met Anne a long time ago when she was working on her first diploma. And I met her in a period of that diploma that was very painful for you, Anne. And I remember you told me if I could read your projects and see how you could improve them. So yeah, it was very hard period for you, and I didn't know how to help you. I was not in the process myself, and hadn't gone through that part yet. And the change from that time to now is amazing. So the process you are in now, even though it's been like a roller coaster. I mean, in the guild, like Laura and I, we've been like, you've been frustrated, you've been happy, we've been celebrating, you've been like very low, and you've been cursing people, and So it's been a roller coaster, but in a good way. I mean, such is life for some people, and that's how we evolve, I guess. Some of us, me included. And but the difference between then and now is so much more energy, and so much more positivity, and so much more hope and trust. And I'm so pleased that you are walking ahead of me, because I'm like, now I'm just stepping in your footsteps, really, and hoping I can keep up the same hope and the same energy on my diploma. So that's my comment.
Wow. Wow. Thank you for that, daughter. Yeah. Wow, you can do the trees also, Delvin. Yeah, but that was really rooting input also. Yeah, you can do other things there in Canada. Yeah. One last question. Just a little question. Ditte, maybe your secret. Are you there, Ditte?
She's muted.
Oh, you're also muted. Yeah.
Yes, I'm here, but I think I have suggestion later, and also congrats, Anne, and so nice to see you on your journey, and you're here already at the midterm evaluation. Yeah, but I will come up with some more.
Nice. Well, let's get into Alexandra. Yeah, you can have a second one.
Yes, I had a question, but Anne actually answered this question. But I will ask it again to see, and if you're giving the same answer that you already shared. But my question is more practical. Is what skills or tools do you want to strengthen in your upcoming designs way forward?
Well, that's the how to reflect.
Yes,
I
that's what
talked
you said.
to
Yes.
Delvin about it, and he says that I reflect perfectly. But if I can't see it myself, I have to find out what it is that I'm doing that I don't know that I'm doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's so fundamental, the reflection part, and so beautiful, and also where we grow and develop further. So it's wonderful, a wonderful goal to have, I think, for the next upcoming designs.
Then I have some issues also about presentation, because I want the presentations to be more kind of not so flat. I mean, it's very flat to write in a blog format. They will be in the blog format, but then there will be a video and there will be a folder, and I will make other kind of presentation formats.
Yes, this is also so much fun, and where you can really yourself creatively explore as well. Yeah, I relate to that a lot. Different formats of presenting.
You had some wonderful formats in your presentation.
Yes,
It's so much fun to have them playful and
AB Permaculture dot something.
Does something
So you can see Alexandra's really creative and inspiring designs. Let's just plug everyone. Yes, thank you for that. So we have a couple of minutes left for an appreciation round. And I hope you can really think of something from the heart for Anne's now is it called homeway stretch in English, for the completion of your diploma. And we are all visualizing you in the summer 2026 with your diploma, going on teaching the PDC at Løgum Cluster Folk High School and continuing your journey now as a diploma holder. And I think that was part of my appreciation, actually. So I think maybe if we take it from reverse alphabetical order, I'm S. And then we have a lot of D's today. Is it Ruth Marie?
Thank you so much for this, for being able to be here. I think that so many things have been said that has really moved me today. This what you have mentioned about being a positive impact, and that you're all gold, that this amazing strong drive and energy for life that you have, that is so so important to share with everybody around you, and that if we could get just a little touch of your gold dust to everybody here around you, that to appreciate the life we have and see it and honor it, that I feel really that is what I really bring with me from your presentation today, and that I will try to remember more in my life, to take that time to dance and get my designs down. So I think that you moving, going in front of us all here, who want to finish the design and who have all these startups. It's a really, yeah, it's a really inspiration for me. So thank you so much for doing this for all of us.
Wow, Ruth. Yeah. And Laura?
Yes. Thank you so much for the presentation. And I think I was already like, whoa, Anna, what's going on, when you were sharing like the first like this part of about your, because I mean I'm in your Diploma guild, and you was just like you're sharing your process with us, but you shared several things here that I definitely hadn't heard of, and I'm just like how is it possible to work in this space? It's amazing. How are you doing it? And also I think you're able to do that because you've integrated into your life in a way where you're also you're having the care for yourself. Such like that's such a big part of it. It's fully integrated, so that's why it's possible. And yeah, I don't know if it's specifically related to this, but I just want to share as an appreciation that that you're one of the few people within the permaculture world that inspired me the most, because I lived with you for a year at Fejø, and when I lived with you, it was the first time I really realized on an experienced level, and also just realized mentally that yeah, permaculture is about our needs, and like coming from there, and that we need to really listen to that, and that's the base of everything. And then of course make sure that we are doing it in a way that's good for our surroundings too. And I really feel like that's the core. That's been the leading red, what's it called? Well, sorry,
Red.
I'm sorry. Red thread in my life since then, actually. Yeah, thank you so much.
Wow, Laura. This is a touching journey just to hear all your voices. Let's take the Ew.
Hey, thank you so much for that I am able to be here. When we started, I wanted to say it, but I waited until now. But I just want to say that it feels very much like family being here. Like I know you all guys, and we've known each other for some years now, and we keep being here, and it's very satisfying. It's very nourishing. Yeah. And well, I'm very privileged to be designing together with Anna in our conscious sexuality design. So I'm yeah, it's a blessing. What I am very thankful for from you, Anne, in our process, and I can see also that you also I can see that in the other designs that you do. It's like that permaculture is so integrated in you, like just the way we do our meetings. We do meetings mm, at least once a month, maybe sometimes more often. It's just like, okay, check in, and who writes down and who facilitates, and to the Zoom, you've got both a very like structured way of working and also very holistic, like integrating both the yang, the masculine structure thing, and the yin, celebrating and integrating and dancing and moving and singing and painting and being creative, and I'm very thankful for all the learning that brings me and in my process. Yeah. Thank you.
Wow. I just feel like crying of joy. Oh, now we are with all the D's. The daughter.
I'm sorry, I'm cracking up with all the icons, Delvin. I am so totally. I need to learn that. Yeah. So, and thank you. I am. This is it's I know it's a journey, but I'm honored to be on your journey, and it's also I'm kind of, when you became a psychiatrist, then probably you learned a lot about yourself. Maybe it's a very similar thing, just in another context. But I don't know if I can feel it, but I think you have changed a lot during this time, and in a good way. And I just can't wait for the last half. It's yeah, and for myself to start alongside, get going. Okay. Yeah. No icons, please.
Wow, thank you, daughter. And then I think it's Ditte.
I can try to say something, but Anna, I don't know you that much, but I have met you once at Fejø in 2019, where we actually saw you, or we were part of Permaculture Denmark's annual board meetings, and as a part of that, we saw your healing garden. And so I remember you from there. And specific, I have this memory of all of us helping a little out in the garden. That was really nice. And connecting both us with your land. And then in the end, we went up the hill where you just had this amazing view over the sea. And we were kind of doing, don't know what the ritual is called, but kind of rolling in. So we were like one moving body, something like that. So that was really touching, the view, the people, and your life there. So I really remember that made an impression. And from your design journey now, I can hear you have moved on, and as you said, it sounds really like you found your new you. And yeah, I just really wish you all the best luck going forward.
Thank you, Ditte. Thank you for that beautiful memory. And Delvin?
And you are planting the seeds of permaculture, mindfulness, self-discovery, peace, and love into the world. And I just want to thank you for being such a beautiful gardener of life.
Wow. Well put. Well put. And then Alexandra with an A.
Yes, with an A. Yeah, I think it's amazing to be here, amazing to hear all those appreciations and comments. And it's amazing. I feel like we are witnessing the miracle of transformation live happening, again. And it's so beautiful. And then the past few days, I've been reading your designs, and I will post a little more here in the chat because I know you, of course, but I feel I didn't know you really. And through designs, I feel I'm really connecting to your life, your story, your journey, and what has been mentioned, the way you're writing them, it's like you're talking, So it's super, super nice, and you really deep dive into your story. Very amazing. And yeah, and if I was closer to you, geographically, I would definitely attend all the circles and the things you're doing with the Laule. Every time you do something about conscious sexuality, I'm like, too far to go. So I hope you will have some workshops in Jutland sometimes as well. And I also just the last thing want to say that this is a wow Midway evaluation. I think I've never ever experienced something like that. And I just also want to appreciate Skye Jin for organizing and setting this so beautifully. And always appreciative of Delvin as well. Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Alexandra. And then last but not least, Anne, how do you appreciate yourself and your work?
The most.
And this, yes, you have to do the uncomfortable thing that's not very, very Scandinavian of appreciating yourself.
No, I can appreciate myself. I'm very good at that.
Okay.
Just not sure what to say. Yeah, I'll show you this picture here I got from my flax friend Victoria. I think it's me. It was for my birthday. Can you see it?
Yes.
If I'm too much,
Gorgeous.
find something less. That's me.
Oh, it's wonderful.
Beautiful.
Thank you for that.
Mm. Well, thank you so much. And thank you for being a wonderful bunch of people meeting up on a Wednesday evening slash noon. It's this is really a pattern that we want to continue like this.
Mm.
And the only thing I can say now, maybe we should clap together and then just go to bed. So unmute and then clap Anne into the next phase of her diploma. Yay!
Yay! Fantastic work.
And greetings
Incredible.
from Den as well.
Yes, thank you so much. And yes, good night and see you. Bye.
Bye.
Hej, tak for nu.
Tusind tak.